The knock was too firm, too deliberate. It wasn't the casual tap of a neighbor or a delivery. It was the kind that made your stomach drop before you even reached the door. I froze halfway down the hallway, coffee mug trembling in my hand. The world outside my window was still draped in early morning silence. Gray skies, dew on the grass, the faint hum of traffic in the distance. Then the knock came again, sharper this time. When I opened the door, 2 officers stood there. A man and a woman. Their expressions were unreadable, their uniforms spotless. The woman asked quietly, "Are you Daniel Cole?" Something in her tone told me this wasn't about a parking ticket. "Yes," I managed, my voice catching. "What's this about?" The male officer glanced down at a tablet. "We'd like you to come with us, sir. It's regarding your ex-wife, Melissa." The mug slipped from my hand, shattering across the tile. Melissa. I hadn't heard that name spoken to me in nearly 2 years. I thought I'd buried it, along with everything she did. They didn't arrest me, but the words, "come with us," echoed in my head like a death sentence. I followed them numbly to the patrol car, my mind racing back to the night that broke me. I caught her cheating 2 years ago. The memory still burned like acid behind my eyes. Her perfume in the air, the sound of laughter from behind the bedroom door, a man's voice I didn't recognize. I remembered standing there frozen, gripping the doorframe, unable to breathe as she scrambled off the bed, stammering excuses. Her betrayal had stripped me raw. Everything I'd built, our home, our trust, the years of trying to start a family, collapsed in seconds. The divorce was ugly, but I tried to move on. Therapy, long runs at dawn, rebuilding my photography business. I told myself she was just a wound I'd learned to live with. But now the police were driving me to the station because of her. Inside the interrogation room, the fluorescent lights hummed faintly, too bright, too white. The female officer sat across from me, hands folded. "Mr. Cole," she began carefully, "your ex-wife was found dead last night." My lungs seized. I didn't speak. Couldn't. She continued. "It appears to be an overdose. But certain circumstances require clarification." I leaned back, gripping the edges of the chair. My throat felt dry, my pulse hammering. "Clarification," echoed. "Why would I?" The male officer cut in, sliding a photo across the table. "Because this was found in her apartment. It was a photo of us, our wedding day, torn down the middle. But taped on the back in messy handwriting were the words, 'He'll pay for what he did to me.'" I stared at it, stunned. "That's not, she was the one who cheated on me." The officers exchanged a look. The woman leaned forward. "We're aware of that, Mr. Cole. But according to her phone records, she'd been calling you repeatedly over the past 3 months. I blinked. "That's impossible. I blocked her number." "Then she was using another one." They showed me a list of unknown numbers. Dozens of calls, texts. Felt dizzy. I hadn't seen them, hadn't even noticed. I'd changed numbers after the divorce to cut her out completely. What did she want from me?" I whispered. The woman sighed softly. "That's what we're trying to understand. Before her death, she told several people that you ruined her life. She accused you of leaking private photos online." I felt my heart plummet. "What? That's insane. I would never." "She filed a report a month ago," the male officer interrupted. "But she withdrew it 2 days later." I sank back in my chair. My hands trembled. I didn't know what was worse, the accusation or the fact that even after 2 years, Melissa was still haunting me. The officer's voice softened. "Did she ever try to contact you in person?" I shook my head, but then a flicker of memory surfaced, something I'd dismissed. About a month ago, I'd noticed a black car parked across the street at odd hours. Once I thought I saw someone sitting inside. I told myself it was paranoia. Then last week, someone left a small envelope on my doorstep with no return address. Inside was a photo of me at the park, taking pictures of a client. Just me, framed like I was the subject. I tossed it, thinking it was some creepy prank. Now cold realization crept up my spine. The female officer noticed my expression shift. Mr. Cole. I swallowed hard. I think she might have been watching me. When I told them everything, the car, the envelope, their faces grew grim. They exchanged another silent look before the woman stood. We appreciate your cooperation. We may need to contact you again. As they left, she paused at the door. I'm sorry for your loss, she said quietly. But her eyes carried a different message. We're not done with you yet. That night I couldn't sleep. The apartment felt smaller, darker. Every creak sounded like footsteps, every shadow a memory of her. I sat at the kitchen table, scrolling through old photos. Us smiling on beaches, at dinner, holding hands. It felt like someone else's life. Then my phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. You didn't answer me last time, Daniel. My blood ran cold. The number wasn't saved, but the tone. It was hers. I called the police immediately. They traced the message. It didn't come from her phone. It came from a prepaid SIM registered after her death. By morning, officers surrounded my house again. Searching, questioning, guarding. I sat on my porch, numb, watching as they uncovered something in the shrubs beside my driveway. A small black camera, half buried under leaves, its lens cracked but still intact. They pulled footage from its memory card. The last clip was dated the night before her death. It showed Melissa, alive, standing at the edge of my driveway, whispering into her phone, tears streaking her face. Then another figure stepped into frame. Man. The same one I'd caught her with years ago. They argued. He grabbed her arm, shoved her. The camera tilted, fell, and the video ended. A week later, the police confirmed it. Melissa's overdose wasn't suicide. It was staged. The man she cheated with, her ex-lover, had been living off her money, manipulating her, and when she threatened to expose him, he silenced her. They found him trying to cross the state line. When they told me, I felt nothing at first, just emptiness. But later that night, standing in my driveway where the footage had been taken, I looked up at the stars and realized something cruelly poetic. For 2 years, I thought Melissa's betrayal had destroyed me. In truth, it had destroyed her. And all that remained between us now was a ghost, a tangled mess of love, regret, and vengeance that neither of us survived intact. I whispered into the night, "Goodbye, Melissa." The wind carried it away, like a final absolution I never knew I needed.